If this is too uncomfortable for you to hear, if this is too awkward, if you feel attacked, honestly speaking, I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm not make you feel comfortable. I'm here to speak the truth.
If this is too uncomfortable for you, the sister said, I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. And my sister, thank you very much for coming out to make your people uncomfortable, to speak out the truth. This sister is from the Middle East, from North Africa, born in Germany, and she's talking about racism in the Arab world. She's talking about racism among her own people. And as I said, we commend her for coming out boldly to speak the truth. Because please take time out of your busy schedule and watch the full video. I'm going to show you the full video. And if you watch the full video, Lord, it's so disgusting, it's so appalling that people in this 21st century can still have this 7th century and 3rd century mindset about humanity. You know, it is not our fault as melanated people that you didn't get melanin. God didn't give you melanin. It is not our fault. So you cannot use your lack of melanin to hate us for no reason. She said they are first siblings. They're all born in Germany. But luckily for one of them, he's a bit darker. Because that's how we're going to start putting it. Because we're not going to feel sorry for who we are, for what God has created us. We're not going to feel sorry for that. So unfortunately for them, the three of them, they didn't have enough melanin. But one of them had more melanin. And then he has been a subject of abuse by their family and also people from where she came from. So I want us to go watch the full video, come back and analyze it. And this should be a lesson to we Bantu Africans, because everything that the sister is saying, if you sit down and think about it, you will understand what I'm saying. It should be a lesson to us. Let us watch the full video, come back and analyze it.
So growing up in Germany as as an ethnic person, as an immigrant child, I never saw myself actually as an immigrant child or as someone who's an outcast. I never ever had any encounters, any racist movements, maybe on a later stage, but they never really bothered me. But in my family, we are 4 siblings. Of 3, me and my sister and my brother have pretty much light skin, like super, super white. And my 4th and youngest brother has actually a dark skin, which is, nowadays you can say he's light skin for someone who's African. But he is pretty dark skinned for me, or compared to me and my siblings, and compared also for the Tunisian world. So, okay, let me get the for the North African world. He might not even feel the way I felt when I used to hear comments about his color when he was younger. People used to say, "Oh, he looks Pakistani." You know, sometimes the problem is in the North African, and maybe also the Arab or every community. Actually, I'm not gonna pin it down to or narrow it down to us. They give comments without thinking how the other person feels, without any thoughts of how that might affect someone. I heard he looks like Pakistani, he's too dark. In Tunis, he told me himself, once he got slapped actually by a policeman because the policeman did not understand how on earth someone that dark, and I'm not saying my brother is super dark. Obviously, if you would see pictures, you would be like, what's wrong with you? But he is actually dark compared to us, like I said. So for a Tunisian policeman, he was not understanding why. He told him literally, someone with your color lives in Germany and I am in Tunis. And these things just stick with me. And even like at the immigration, my brother and my other brother are being together and, you know, giving the passport for the security. It's always the same. There's no way this is your brother. There's no way this is your sister. There's no way you guys are family. Like, because he's the dark child and we are all like the white kids in the family. That's why when I grew up, I never ever saw color. I never understood there is really a difference between me and my brother or between me and my cousin who is super dark. I never thought it's an issue. It hurt me so bad when I heard these comments towards my brother. He used to also tell me, obviously, that the police in Germany would also stop him every now and then, just obviously based on him being a guy and an immigrant child and looks super dark with his beard as a Muslim guy in Europe. I have never ever been stopped. I have never ever been dealt with in a bad way. I'm a Muslim girl who wears hijab ever since I'm 11. I should also be actually affected by these attributes that I show to the world. However, I have never been. But growing up, having someone in your family actually going through that racism is so made me feel like, not I have to speak up for every single person, it just did not make sense to me how on earth is someone that looks just slightly different than us is treated in a completely different way. And I started noticing this because when I got older, obviously, and I used to go to the beach to Tunis, and like I said, I enter Tunis, I'm like a white kid. Obviously, I go to the beach on a daily basis and I come out being, you know, super tan and super dark. And my family, and I remember this neighbor, she would always say, oh my God, you used to be so pretty. What happened to you in the last couple of weeks? Now you're so, you know, they don't want to say ugly, but so, ooh, like do something. You know, we have specific creams in Tunis and specific masks that keeps you white, and all that mentality that a white person or someone with a lighter skin, let's not say white person because we still obviously not white people, but someone with a lighter skin has always is always more beautiful, is always more pure. Many people want to speak to them, many people want to surround themselves with, and if you're dark, technically, oh yeah, he's nice, she's cute, but I mean, come on, she's a dark girl. You know, how many comments did I hear about, yeah, he's gonna marry this, yeah, but she's dark. Wallahi. And okay, let's continue. The problem is that some people don't even know they are racist, and the comments that are giving, and the comments that are, you know, the words that are coming out of their mouth are so hurtful. I really do not understand how someone else feels, because I'm not in their shoes. I'm not black, I'm not even brown, and I feel it deep in my heart and I feel it deep in my soul that you make someone else feel less worthy than you because his color. I find it very funny because to other people, there is always someone who's whiter than you, and there's always someone who's darker than you. So technically, if these, you know, in my childhood, these comments have been made, I always wanted to say, because I was too young, obviously I never said something, and I'm like, in my head, but a German person thinks I'm dark and I'm white for an old North African girl, and maybe a Finnish girl, a German person is way too dark for her because Finnish and Swedish people or the Nordics are, you know, so white that you can barely see them. It's like there is always someone who's lighter than you. Go to Syria and Lebanon, you will see girls that are so white, and so what? I'm not even going to go into details about the first call of prayer in the times of the Prophet Muhammad, Bilal, who was dark. He was a freed slave, and he was called by the Prophet to make the adhan as the first ever call to prayer. Mu'adhan, we would say. Do you think back in the days they cared about black and not black? They cared, but I'm talking about the Prophet, I'm talking about the Islam, I'm talking about our religion, that we constantly say, oh my God, that, you know, the people who would, what bugs me is the people who are praying and believing in God, and the people who are crying in the Taraweeh and during Ramadan, Tahajjud, and all these things, Salat al-Jumu'ah or the Friday prayers. People would cry and people would ask God for forgiveness, and people would, I don't know, feed the needy and stuff, not knowing their foundation in life is based on being a goddamn racist. And when I always used to ask my friends and be like, dude, that comment you just made is unbelievable. They say, no, I'm not a racist, but I mean, I don't have to be friends with him. I'm not racist, but I don't want my daughter to marry a black guy, just period. What difference between racism in North Africa, 100%, and the racism in the Middle East and the Arab world is a whole different level. I can tell you, that the racism in North Africa is really based on lack of knowledge. No one thinks I'm better than the other person. No one thinks I'm higher, I'm whiter, because obviously towards the end we're all Africans, or you are Amazigh, or I don't know, your blood is Arab, or whatever they think they are.
Yeah, so as you can see, the sister is talking about racism in North Africa. How a manner in North Africa and in the Middle East, in the Arab world, how they treat melanated people, people who have melanin like me. Because they didn't have enough melanin, they tend to hate people who have more melanin. And one thing she said that really moved me, one thing she said that I feel disgusted, or I see a double standard, I see hypocrisy, is that the brother, the younger brother visited Tunisia. In Tunis, the capital, a policeman abused him, assaulted him, slapped him, physical abuse, assaulted him just because he's dark skinned and is born in Germany and holding a German passport. So according to the sister, the policeman said, how can you, with this your skin, born in Germany, living in Germany, even have a German passport, whilst I am here? So in a nutshell, he is saying that you with the dark skin, you are born in heaven. You are fortunate enough to born in heaven. Germany is heaven. And I am in hell in Tunisia. I thought Muslims, heaven wasn't on this planet Earth. I thought Muslims supposed to die before they go to heaven. And if you analyze what this guy, the reason he was abusing this dark-skinned melanated person was because he is in Germany. He was born in Germany, holding a German passport. And then him, the Arab guy with the lighter skin, was born in Tunis and then is living in Tunisia. So, like, it's kind of contradiction. It's a double standard. Because if you can tell us that we must be good people, we must be good people to go to heaven, and when we die, we go to heaven, and yet somebody is holding a country passport, and then you can abuse him, and then you don't understand why he was fortunate enough to born in that country, that means you are putting that country at the level of heaven, because that's the only reason why you can abuse somebody. Not only that, but she also make a point. She also said that in the Arab world, they worship white skin. Even though I've never seen a white person, but let me just go by what she's saying. They worship pale skin, those who are lacking melanin. They worship to the extent that they bleach. So when you see them like that, all of them are bleaching, or majority of them are bleaching just to keep their skin lighter. Where did they get that? Is that what Allah has created you? If we're gonna go by what you people have come to Africa to teach our Bantu Africans, is that what Allah has created you? So are you now belittling Allah by bleaching your skin? Because if Allah created you and give you dark skin, why are you bleaching? Not only that, this, as I said, should be a lesson to our people. Because if we, Bantu Africans, if these people cannot share the same seed with us, they cannot see us face to face on this planet Earth, how are we sure that when we die, if Allah gonna grant us, all of us, heaven, they will want to be in the same heaven that they came to teach us? They want to be in that same heaven with us. Are you people really proud of what Allah has created? Are you people against Allah? Because the lighter skinned people were created by Allah. There's Europeans whom you respect a lot, because according to her, they respect Europeans too much. Even though the Europeans are not Muslims, but they don't respect dark-skinned Muslims. They don't respect dark-skinned Muslims, but they respect. And, you know, this goes to confirm a friend of mine, Sal, from Sudan. He told me when he was visiting Mecca, He visited Mecca for Umrah. And then when they went there, when he went there, he was walking, he was walking with an Italian man. The Italian man wasn't a Muslim. The Italian, and he told me there are a lot of Italians doing business in that country. The Italian man wasn't a Muslim, and this, my friend Sal, was a Muslim. And they were going together because they didn't have their way, they didn't know their way out at the airport. So himself, he went forward to ask somebody, a security man, as to his way forward. The security man didn't even turn to look at him. When the other security guy told him, the guy is talking to you, he said, don't mind that slaves. According to him, that part of the world, that is the only way they refer to black people. But when the Italian man, and Sal is a Muslim, asking another Muslim Arabian, and then he said, don't mind that slave. But when that Italian, who is not a Muslim, come forward, the guy took his bag. So they worship, instead of worshiping Allah, they worship white people. And that is why they bleach their skin. They worship white people more than Allah. Because he took the Italian man bag and lead him to his way out, whilst refusing another person who is a Muslim purposely because he's a dark-skinned person, call him a slave. This is a lesson to we Bantu Africans. Let us know who we are, because people cannot come and promise you heaven, but it is only on this physical world. They don't want to have anything to do with you. That heaven, you only have to wait when you die. And what is the guarantee that when we die, these people will want us to sit in the same heaven or live in the same heaven with them? We need to think. I thank you very much for coming around. I am your missionary brother, Brother Dobia Anzansi. Our mission is to get Satan out of Africa, one African mission. Together, me and you will bring back our dignity so that these our children who are disrespecting us all over the world will stop doing that.